Hey guys, Ryan here from Mana Bluff. This is the very last M15 draft that I'll be putting on the website, which I'm kind of stoked about. I'm really excited for Khans of Tarkir. So hopefully next week I'll be able to rock into a pre-release draft or sealed and get that up on the site. And as is appropriate for the very last M15 draft, look, we have a triplicate spirits. It's a pretty easy pick. Nothing really comes close to it, and I love that I'm not passing any white. That's a bonus. What else is around? Paragon, blah, Spirit, Rhino, Knight, Inferno Fist, good. Marked by Honor, probably will even table. Research Assistant. If the Marked by Honor doesn't table, I don't know if it's a huge signal since there's no other white in the pack, but whatever. Yay, Trip Spirits. It's actually been a while since I played with it. I've pretty much avoided white in the last month or so in terms of just being kind of overdrafted. Not overdrafted. It's drafted appropriately. Everyone knows with Trip Spirits it's too good. An interesting set of decisions here. I think because this is so good, I'm just going to pass the stab wound and let other people jump into it. And I'm happy to grab an early Ajani's Pridemate. But man, this is a way better pack than what I opened. Skirmisher is also good in the 2-drop, but earlier on, if you can kind of get some synergy with the Pridemate, that's pretty fun. Stab wound, of course, is the best card here, is insane. Netcaster Spider, really fantastic. Willforged Golem, not as good as those cards, but would make it into the deck. Same with Rotfeaster Maggot if you go that route. Yeah, Stab Wound's just pretty awesome. I don't know, I'm kind of like waffling in my my theories now of how I'm drafting. I used to always do, this is my go-to pick, the Pridemate, stick to one color, try to make it happen. But as I've kind of learned and developed from other better players, for example, like Simon from Simon Says, talking about like staying open as long as possible, it could just be worth just grabbing the stab wound. Something I'm thinking about in terms of adjusting some of my draft strategy. If I hadn't picked such a strong card, then I probably would just go and keep my options open and take next best card. But I'm actually happy to kind of make triplicate spirits if there's a strong card with it. So it's kind of the same idea with going with Geist of the Moors, which is a good card. Not as insane as a lot of the other cards that you can get in white, but is certainly very good. Versus, like, say, going into green now, take the Siege Worm or going Frostlink, which are both better cards than Geist of the Moors. We'll go that route. Noticing no black in this pack, just starting to pay attention to signals, but seeing green and blue kind of premier cards here. So I just want to pay attention to what the person who's passing to me has. And it could very well be white as well. Swift Claws here. So we've passed a couple of good 2-drops in our colors. They're not the premier. Well, I guess the Skirmisher is pretty good. But still, really happy this is the start of what's being dished out. Here, I'm really not excited for any pick. Gargoyle Sentinel, maybe I'll grab. Charging Rhino, Research Assistant. Festerglim's actually good and kind of hoses us. I don't know if I want to pick it and play it. I'm really not wanting to do the Gargoyle Sentinel thing in these colors. Could be right to take the Ephemeral Shields because it will be played. And it just continues to solidify cutting out white. If I'm taking a white card, it's definitely Ephemeral Shields over the sideboard Solemn Offering or Tireless Missionaries, both of which I'm sure I'll get if I'm in white later on. Research Assistant also fine. I'll take the Gargoyle Sentinel just because it is like a decent card. If I end up needing to like salvage the draft some way and need to like, you know, put in a playable, I'm not stoked. But it's fine. Ooh, Pillar, Heliod's Pilgrim, Netcaster Spider. Those are all great. Wall Defender, if I got more Pridemates, might be played, but really not what I want to be doing. I think we just take the Pillar of Light here. I'm still happy just to stay on white. Noticing more green being passed, which means that might be a secondary color that I want to jump into. Willforged Golem would make a deck. Heliod's Pilgrim is good, but without like knowing what my second color is, like if I'm not red, I don't know if it's going to be insane. And you can kind of get them when you want. I'd rather just get some good removal online. And I definitely want to take a white card, like I said, to keep cutting it, not give too many options for someone next to me to rock into. Side note, Shadowcloak Vampire. Looks like red's the only color that I'm really not seeing. Here's another green card. Razorfoot Griffin and Sanctified Charge still in the pack. Seeing white's going to be fairly open. Taking the charge over the Griffin, I think it's more of a signal. Yeah, not so much blue anymore. A little bit of leftover green and black. So those are kind of the colors I'm looking to pair into. And of course, green being the better color combination with white. But having 1 Trip Spirits, 1 Sanctified Charge makes me happy. Happy to grab a Midnight Guard here over a Bronze Sable. Meteorite, yeah, they're Courage late. Yeah, so green's still kind of going around. So I'm not expecting to see green in the second pack. But if there's just like an open bomb green or something, I'll happily grab it and then stick to my white in second pack, and then maybe hose someone next to me who moved into green, which is kind of where they should be. I like Marked by Honor better than Divine Favor. If I had another Johnny's Pride mate, maybe I prefer the Divine Favor, but I think it just has a little bit more relevance. I think there's other ways to get life gain to make the Pride mates good. I don't know if that's right or not. Not even sure if I'm going to play the Ores. This is assuming that like I get maybe another Pride mate, or I get the Pilgrim. I already passed one. But I'm still happy just to take white cards and not move into a second color, even though the Crippling Blight was the best card there. Maybe I'll just take the Shield here. It could be played, whereas nothing else is really going to be played. If I end up getting like a really good token deck going, this could conceivably make it. Again, conceivably. I'll take Military Intelligence. Definitely not playing any of the other cards, and if we end up getting to a blue-white situation, this would be fine. Black Cat or Necromancer's Instance. This is black, so I did think some of that might be open. I think I'll take the Black Cat. Care more about that. Here's that Missionaries on the table. Could have taken the Sun Magus or whatever. Pretty sure it's not being played. But if magically 3 Pride mates come through, I might regret that. Yeah. So I could definitely make a Military Intelligence deck. 1 more Triplicate Spirits, a bunch of Welcome Turns or something. That could happen. Frost Lynxes galore. I passed 1 of them? 2 of them? I don't remember. I know I passed 1. So now I'm really just hoping that my hard cut of white pays off with like a second, dare I say, 3rd Triplicate Spirits. That would be pretty nice in the second pack. But I'm keeping my eyes out for black and green. Blue only if there aren't better options and they end up working with Military Intelligence. I don't want to force it though, because blue and red were the 2 colors that I really didn't see a whole lot of in that first pack, so I'm not expecting seeing a lot later on. Okay, so this is fascinating. Soul of Innistrad, which of course is good, or Masked Calcify, which is also very good. Warden of the Beyond would even be a welcome addition. How interesting, how interesting. I'm going to go ahead and rock the Masked Calcify. I know Soul is great, and I thought black was going to be one of the open colors, but we're looking to be pretty heavy white anyway, so I think we can really make this card work for us. So I'm not too sure how correct that decision was, but I like it. I like it quite a bit. Here's an interesting choice. Into the Void being really quite fantastic, especially if I'm looking to do a somewhat kind of like aggressive quick deck, or just like have a lot of dudes, right? Versus a second Midnight Guard, which keeps me on the white path open longer, but the whole reason why I wanted to be open is to pick up strong cards like Into the Void. Again, Netcaster Spider, I'm seeing green, I do like it, and it does hose me quite a bit. But I think Into the Void is powerful enough that I want it. I'm not really, Military Intelligence isn't a factor in that decision there. And it could be fine just to pick up another Midnight Guard. I haven't gotten like the really premium low end cards yet. We have the Geist, right, and that's fine. But I don't have like the Raise the Alarms to kind of like go off with Triplicate Spirit. So I need to start caring about my curve fairly soon. But this is kind of just key. And now it's kind of like, what do I want to start solidifying into? Peel could be good if I get Frostlinks, but I'm not guaranteed on that. If I had them already, I'd probably grab it. Peel in general is good. But Selfless Cathar is kind of what my deck wants and needs with at least 1 Triplicate Spirits. I'm going to take it. I think Into the Void was powerful enough that it was worth taking the risk of taking it, over a Midnight Guard, but I don't know if Peel is powerful enough, plus this deck may not want that many Peels, and if I end up landing into blue, I can probably grab the one that I want, if, I'm picking blue because it's open more. Okay. Soulmender? Really bummed there's not more white. Maybe someone else is forcing it after opening a Triplicate Spirit. It's not too sure. It's one of the dangers of going white, people just kind of forcing it. I don't feel like I did in the first pack. I feel like, we saw some pretty good cards early on, which means I'm still hopeful that we'll get some good white cards later on. But now the decision is, do I want to like grab a Satyr Wayfinder, which really helps in the Convoke deck if we're going that route. A Soulmender, which I already have a Selfless Cathar. I only have one Pride Mate, so Soulmender isn't insane. Could just take an Evolving Wild to help with the mana. But as you see, I'm really happy just to lean towards the Wayfinder here. We're sort of split in between these two cards. Okay, now I'm really interested in smacking down blue, and I do think we take the Frostlinks over the second Into the Void. I want more creatures. I know it doesn't work with Mass Calcify as much, but we might not even be playing that. I would like this, but I think a Frostlink is way more important. Yep. Alright. We're going blue. Oh, even better. Yeah, we're definitely going blue now. Not too sure about these guys, but ideally I'm not really playing them. I want to maintain this military intelligence, but unless we get like a lot more aggression online, we're not playing it. We're either playing the military intelligence or we're playing the Mass Calcify. I'm fine with either or, depending on how the draft shapes up. Coral Bear and Boomer Giant are both not where I want to be. Barrier being a little bit more consistent could still be good with like a military intelligence against blue decks. Boonweaver Giant really only something you're playing if Spectral Ward you're happy enough to grab. I just want the lower creature curve. Helps with convoking. Yeah, I like that. Murklurker or Research Assistant. We're kind of low on the 2-drops. Could always splash for black, though I'm not planning on it. Research Assistant, I think it's just a little bit more reliable. And at this point, I don't think the black thing's going to go down. Well, and then I get another Research Assistant. Would have liked to have the Murklurker. Not to say I'd be playing it still, but just because I don't think I'm going to be running 2 Research Assistants. Still, I'll take the Research Assistant over the Solemn Offering. Does help with the military intelligence a wee bit. Get the Tyrant's Machine, I guess, for the sideboard. Right now, if I'm going to start loading into more blue, Mass Calcify isn't going to be making the deck. I'm just really surprised that there wasn't more white options available this pack, because I was cutting it pretty A-okay. It hurts to pass that other Into the Void. But I still really like this Frostlings. I love this card. If I didn't have one or the other, I would take the first Into the Void over the first Frostlings in that spot. For sure. And Divine Favor. Might be there. Right now, I don't think we're playing Divine Favor or Marked by Honor. Oh, maybe the Marked by Honor. I don't know. Whoever got that Soul of Innistrad, who's already in black, is probably like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Goodbye, Ranger's Guile. Don't want to get blown out by Hexproof. If I Pillar of Light something. Ornithopter! I never played this card in this format. And I'm not bummed about that at all. I never really saw the Ensoul Artifact deck that was like insane with that. I never played against it at least, and I definitely never drafted it. It'd have to be way too circumstantial for me to get, a bunch of Ensoul Artifacts, be playing the Ornithopters and all other stuff. I'd always be taking more consistent cards in my draft style, but of course. Okay, last pack. Soul of Theros. I've never once opened a Soul of Theros. I assume I won't, because the odds are against me, having a foil Mass Calcify and a foil, or not a foil, and a Soul of Innistrad. Yep, didn't happen. But hey, a Constricting Sliver. I'm okay with that. Still a very good card. We're not splashing red. I don't need the Shivan Reef. Paragon right now isn't looking too good. And the Nimbus might table, and I'd want that. And I'd only possibly be splashing the Covenant. But we'll probably get the Nimbus or the Razorfoot Griffin back. I'd be down for either of those. Yeah, Constricting Sliver. We don't have that many 6-drops, and it's a great little removal spell, so that's a good pick up. Am I doing the military intelligence thing? That is a question. Could be. We're pretty low on creatures right now. I'm really not excited second picking any of the cards here. Could take another Selfless Cathar, but we're really not in that position. We're not like a super token deck. So right now 1 is exactly where I want to be. Jace's Ingenuity being the best, the most powerful card rather. But with the mana I have right now, I'm not really excited to strain the mana for it since it's not really in our strategy. So I guess I'll just take the Path Mage. Very serviceable, but just sucks to take its second pick. It's not where I want to be in my second pick. I want, the past Triplicate Spirits that was opened. I want the, another Into the Void, another Frostlinks or something. So, bummer. Still, it's a playable card. You don't say. You just don't say. I even forget this does. I just remember I never play it. I'm not playing it. I don't need a second Divine Favor. Maybe I do take a second Selfless Cathar? Yeah, I'll take it. Could be played. I could amazingly get some really late stuff that makes me want to play a second one. That's about it. I am not happy. Well, I guess these kind of work with military intelligence, getting an aggressive start. Just getting dudes to, like, attack in, keep this open, draw some cards. It could go down. But my excitement and optimism from my first pack has been completely deflated from the second and now this really bad third pack. Where did I go wrong? Triplicate Spirits, into Pridemate, into Geist, then Serviceable Others and a late Sanctified Charge in the first pack. Felt like white was a good thing. Maybe the cards just aren't running my way. I don't know. I'm not expecting to see a lot of blue. Again, that was one of the cards that wasn't particularly around. What? Well, I'm taking a Hornet Queen. I don't know if I'm playing it, but it's not like I'm playing any other cards here. I could take the Oppressive Rays, but that's silly. And I don't think I have enough playables. We have a Wayfinder, a Shield, Sentinel, Undergrowth Scavenger, Ranger's Guile. We might just be ditching blue. What's our good blue cards? Frostlinks and Into the Void? Definitely good. But maybe we're going control now. But yeah, I mean, I'm taking Hornet Queen. Yep. Interesting. Alright, let's just see where we're at. And then, if we're doing that, I'm pretty sure we're just going to have to play a little bit more control-y. Tireless Missionaries, I don't know if I want to put in yet. I don't know if this is what I'm doing. We're just messing around. Take another Geist, or do I just take a Skirmisher here? Invasive Species is okay. So what does this look like? We're at 17 playables with possibly a Missionaries, a Shield, and a Time Machines to get up to 19. So we will have playables to go into green, so that's happening. It's official. What do I want? Another Geist, which is, nice and powerful, or another 2-drop. I'll take the Geist. Yeah, I might even get a Bear. Or a Sunblade Elf. I'm cool with that. Kind of like the gold being passed right here. Our mana's going to be a bit rough. Triple green. Maybe Mass Calcified does or doesn't get played. We're not exactly a deck that's really prepared to go late game, but at this point what I'm doing is pretty much relying on the bombs we have in the deck to win and just trying to play out, somewhat decent cards in my colors. Heck, we'll put the shield in for now. Staying alive, staying alive. What else have we got? Swiftclaw over Charging Rhino. We actually have good top end. I don't need a Charging Rhino. We'll just take the 2-drop. Fill that guy out. We have 2 Geists and a Swiftclaw. And then 2 Selfless Cathars in the X1 die easily slot, but that's okay. Not great, but it's definitely okay. Will I ever play a Moss Beast? Well, we need playables, so why not? It really hurts the mana some more, but Nothing else is going down. Maybe take the Radiant Fountain that I just passed, just to gain some life. Go with my Pride Mate, help stay somewhat alive. I wish I had that Evolving Wilds that I was considering picking at some point. I don't remember I took over it, so I don't know if that was really something I wanted. But having these double white spells and then trying to get to a Hornet Queen is going to be hard. Wayfinder is very helpful. Does Vinewift ever get played? No. We want to grind, but this doesn't do enough. So we'll just make sure we don't die super quickly and get rid of this Accursed Spirit. Pretty sure the shield's not being played. What else is it? Maybe a second. Maybe this Selfless Cathar is not being played. Ooh, Shaman of the Springs. Yep. Well, we knew green was one of the options to be open. And a Venom Sliver? Oh, that's perfect for this deck right now. Nice. I don't care. So we actually got a couple of good playables there at the end, where I might be able to salvage this deck. Where did they go? I want to play you, if I don't have to. Same with you. Scavenger isn't great, but I mean, it'll probably just be a creature. Like, it will be there. It's a body. Let me clean this up. Give me a moment, please. Alrighty, so here's our barely enough playables deck. Deck actually kind of is better than I thought it was going to be. Hornet Queen, definitely glad I grabbed it. It was definitely the right choice to ditch all this blue. If you recall, there was not really any blue being passed after I moved in on the Hornet Queen, which I kind of expected, as I mentioned during the draft. We didn't see it that much in the first pack. I'm just really surprised that the white wasn't there. I don't know if I misread the signals, but thinking about it, I don't think I did. Probably just the common pitfall of white. Too many people open, the spirits and everyone moves in on it. Or like a Soul of Theros could have happened. I'm just surprised, mostly surprised by the third pack dry versus like the second pack that can go down. Anyway, we're at 23 cards here on the base deck. We have almost no sideboard options here. Another, a couple dorky high drops. So again, we've got the late game kind of figured out. But I think this is going to be an 18 land deck because we have 2 7-drops, and they're kind of key to making us kind of get to a winning game state. The only thing the deck has going for it are these, 5 powerful spells in the end. So I do think I want to ditch a card, especially because I have plenty of dorks to ditch, that I don't think I'm losing a whole lot by getting rid of something. And I think the contenders here would be Selfless Cathar or Divine Favor. Divine Favor's not doing a whole lot. It only worked with the Ajani Pride Mate, but the Pride Mate's not doing a whole lot either. It's just a 2/2 at this point. Divine Favor's the only thing gaining life. Cathar, though, also not being super synergistic in the deck. It helps with the whole Convoke triplicate spirits, but we actually have a pretty decent low enough curve that we're going to be able to get this guy out on turn 4 or 5 most of the time anyway. And the Cathar with, so few tokens makes not a whole lot of sense. It's nice with Sanctified Charge and Mass Calcify, so those are options. I think since I do want the game to go late, Divine Fury gets a little bit better, gain a little bit of life, get a big butt to start blocking. But what I'm more interested in doing is taking out the Divine Favor, because it's so low impact on its own. I don't have a Pilgrim to, just get it as a free card, as a pickup. I already have a Marked by Honor, that's a potential 2-for-1, so we'll leave it at that. Hope that the Selfless Cathar has a little bit more relevance and impact in trading off with early creatures and staying alive. And then I just feel like the deck is really, if my opponent is really good against X1s, like a bunch of Forge Devils, or just a Forge Devil, we'll take one Cathar out, bring the Divine Favor in. I do have tons of things that die in the X1 slot. All my 1-drops, 3 of my 2-drops, although one of them not a huge deal, and then 2 of my 3-drops. So there's a lot that dies. It just make my Scavenger better, though, if my opponent wants to be trading these X1s off. So yeah, if we can just stay alive, I think we'll be good. 18 lands, gotta go with our weird mana split here. 11 and 7. Well, generally speaking, I want at least 10 for the Hornet Queen. Can I get away with a 9-9 even split? I think we have to. We have a lot more white cards and early double white in the Geist of the Moors plus the Mass Calcify. And even though, yeah, I'd like at least 10 or 11 for Hornet Queen, we're just going to have to play the gamble game and hope that mana cooperates. which isn't great. That's one reason why we're playing 18 land, to kind of even make it somewhat doable. Interesting draft. This is fun.